Salam alaikum. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna make this more regular because I just feel like people I think all of us need to speak out, and we need to be on record, and we need to yell and scream and say whatever we have to say to be on the record, because we know what's going on. I want to talk about, I came across this video. Obviously, as you know, there are a lot of people, many of them Jewish, who are doing incredible job being the voice for the Palestinian people. This is going to be conducted in English. Stay. I know many of you understand. Don't rush. Just chill. I know some, most of my audience are, Somali speaking, but maybe you can learn English. I want to be on the record speaking English, and I want to be able to read some English speaking audience too. So anyway, I just feel like what I have to say is so important. I know it's kind of, I know when maybe not, but I just feel like I have something important to say. Welcome, Brocco Javier. I have something important to say because I feel like I'm coming from a very unique angle here. Okay? Very unique angle. I'm not saying this because I happen to be Muslim, but it's because I happen to be a human being. And I think this is a human issue rather than religion. And so I feel like the angle I am coming from is very unique. We're seeing such a horrific videos, which are really giving us an inside story to who Israelis are, who these people are. I don't know if they have been living on a rock. I mean, this behavior, I keep going back to this behavior. If these people are doing what they're doing, the whole world watching, my God, what have they been doing for the past 75 years to the Palestinians? Is it possible maybe some people have been eaten alive? I mean, come on. I mean, what's happening here? This is horrific. I mean, what? Come on. Oh my God. Where have you guys been living? I mean, what century? Do they even realize they're not fighting a country? You're fighting bunch of like 2.3 million civilians who are not even fighting with you. I mean, just one group, a militia, a resistance militia, is fighting with you, and they're underground. But you're sending bombs to civilians, bombing the hell out of a dense populated space, a very small, what is it, 23 or 25 miles square space? And they're all in this together. The vast majority of them, I don't care what anybody says, we're talking about 90-some%. And they can't even keep their lies together. They come on TV, want to say one thing, but the truth comes out. Because what's in the hearts, ladies and gentlemen, cannot be hidden. Don't you feel ashamed? I mean, the most horrific crime a human being with a heart and soul can commit is murder. You people are murdering innocent people day in and day out. Day in and day out. Heck, if you were real men, if the IDF were real men, real soldiers, instead of pathetic little mouses, you would not be using bombs. You would go after the edge group and face them like men. But no, every time you know what is handed to you, because you're pathetic, just pathetic, then you go after the civilians. I mean, the videos that are showing up, they're even making fun of poor, innocent people who have no way of fighting back, humiliating them because they're humiliated. The IDF and the entire Israeli government is humiliated. They can't fight. The truth is out. The whole world can see that you people can't fight for sure. You can't face real men. Just like Jackson Hinckley said, because if you grew up in Israel, you ain't never met a real man. Oh my God, the embarrassment. Look at this. Look at these people. They're making fun of the fact that the Palestinians don't have water.
Mocking the Palestinians who have had their
They're mocking
electricity
them.
cut by the occupying power of Israel, as a result of which babies in their incubators are dying. But I wonder which of the men would look at these women and go,
Look at
yes, this is the
Wearing
mother of my children. If they're ever dying,
mocking the
she's gonna
hijab,
make a cringe TikTok video
blackening their
dressed as a
ugly
janitor.
teeth.
Now
I mean,
here
I
is
can tell
when
they have
I
ugly
get the
teeth
Nobel
anyway.
Prize, for I hypothesize
They're making
that
fun
if
of the
you do an
Palestinians
echo scan
with
of
no
these
water,
people, you
no
will see
food, no
that we have
nothing.
finally found human beings without a heart.
Without a heart. Human beings without a heart. Cowards. Cowards. There's so many different videos that are coming up. You know, they're demolishing stores. They are, obviously, we've all seen these videos. Now they want to, they're trying to apologize for this. Just like what their ancestors went through by the N group in 1940s. Could it be possible that these people are just, they're such big fans of the N group? You know, like maybe they have what's called, what was that word? What was it? The Stockholm syndrome. The Stockholm syndrome. Do Israelis have the Stockholm syndrome? Because the way they're behaving is the way the N group behaved. They're doing the ABCs of what the N group did to the Jews, 1940s, early 40s. The ABCs. So they're such a big fan of the N group's work. Could that be the reason why they don't want DNA? DNA is illegal in Israel. I mean, all these things. It's you know, one of their guys, IDF spokesperson, flimsy little pathetic, said, well, we didn't mean to do that, and we're just, you know, we were just trying, it was just, it's not even that cold. That's his excuse. It's not even that cold. It's not that cold. The whole world knows you're liars. Liars. This is the biggest T person in the world, and of course with his government. They're the biggest T. Listen to this man, this evil creature. Evil creature. Listen to him. You have to listen to him. This is the Satan Yahoo himself.
Terrorist.
The way he lied about Muslims for so long, creating and fabricating so much hatred out of thin air. The whole world's finding out who the real T group is. The real T group, except they're also pathetic, so they can only fight from the sky, dropping bombs on not a nation. They're too dumb to even understand. They're not fighting a nation with military. Who fights with civilians and drops bombs? Who? Where? Like, these people have not an ounce of they can't even get embarrassed. They cannot even get embarrassed. Listen to this monster of a human being. I mean, he's got to be the human animal he talked about. They talked about.
In the Middle East. Let's watch this again.
If you take away the Soviet Union and
Look
its
how
chief
young he
proxy,
was.
the PLO, international terrorism would collapse.
If you take out Saddam's regime, I guarantee you that it will have enormous positive reverberations on the region. Obviously, we like to see a regime change, at least I would, in Iran, just as I would like to see in Iraq. The question now is a practical question. It's not a question of whether Iraq's regime should be taken out, but when should it be taken out? It's not a question of whether you'd like to see a regime change in Iran.
Testifying
Are there any other
in Congress
nations that you would recommend that the United States launch preemptive attacks upon at this point?
The answer is categorically yes. Is Iraq and Iran. But a third nation, by the way, is Libya as well.
Libya as well.
Trying very rapidly to build an atomic bomb capability.
Paranoia is schizophrenic.
All stand together to stop Iran's march of conquest, subjugation, and terror.
He's ordering the United States. How cowardly. Look at the U.S. Congress. He's ordering them. Stand up. You're standing with us, regardless of your party. Yeah. Who runs the U.S. Congress? So embarrassing.
I know that no matter on which side of the aisle you sit, you stand with Israel.
He's ordering them. You stand with Israel. No buts or ifs. Coward, coward, coward. But you know what? The whole world now knows. The whole world now knows that you're a liar. And the people who you like to confess, I like this young woman, how she talks about it.
If Israel actually does succeed and ethnically cleanse the Palestinian people, they will still lose.
Indeed.
Because we will never forget about this. We will never let Israel be a victim
Ever.
in this story.
And we know how you like to be a victim.
I will make sure that my kids know what happened. I will make sure that my kids know that Israel is a terrorist state, and anyone who supports them and supported this are terrorist supporters. I will make sure that my kids know that the IDF are all terrorists.
Yes.
My kids will know what Palestine is and who the Palestinians are and what the Israelis have done to them. My kids will know, and my grandkids will know, and I will make sure that whatever the outcome is,
the whole world knows that you're liars, murderers, cheaters, heartless government and its people. The vast majority of them. I mean, there is some decent human beings left. This has nothing to do with Jewish people, who many of them are kind, decent human beings who are actually doing everything they can to stop the genocide. We're talking about that country, that stolen land. This is what happens when you get too cocky and arrogant and you think nothing will change. Who thinks like that? Perhaps people who are not very smart would be thinking that way. Oh, I can get away with anything and everything and no one will ever know. Look at this idiot. Look at this.
You're on the Russian payroll, and I understand this is a Russian
Look,
propaganda.
look how
It's
idiotic
very
these
normal,
people are.
because let
And
me tell you, we're gonna finish this
delusional.
war.
Look
We're
at
gonna
it.
win because we're stronger. After this, Russia will pay the price. Believe me, Russia will
Russia will pay the price.
Russia is supporting the enemies of Israel. Russia is supporting Nazi people who want to
You
commit
the end,
genocide
and
on
you
us.
know that. You love
Just
it.
Russia will pay
That's
the
who
price.
you are.
Russia
Admit it.
also. Now listen to me
Using
very
that
carefully.
very
We are going to
loosely.
finish with these Nazis. We're going to win
They
this
like
war.
to be
It's going to take the time
protectors,
it's
don't
going
they?
to take, but we're going to win this war. Afterwards, we're not forgetting what
You're
we're doing. We're not
winning what
forgetting.
war? You're not in war. You're not in war.
We will make sure that you pay
You're
the price
fighting
for
with
what you have
innocent
done. You as
population,
Russia,
women and
and you
children and
as all the
elderly.
enemies of
You're not
Israel,
fighting men.
and
You
as
can't
all
even
the
fight
people
men.
who are now
Because you're
making
not
everything
men
they
and you're
can
not
to support
soldiers. You have no
genocide of
soldiers.
the Jews in Israel. We are not forgetting. We are not forgetting.
Yeah.
Remember exactly
You're so
what I'm saying
pathetic.
now. You will pay the price.
Amir, I think it's safe to say
Very
that this is a
delusional. Very delusional. Very delusional, these people.
Asking for proof about October
The
7th.
world
Well,
knows.
there's a few reasons. The first one being Israel
Nobody's
has
gonna
lied about
believe
so
it.
many things that have happened.
This
on
young
October
woman
7th.
talks about why people are having a lot of questions about October the 7th, because the story did not begin October the 7th. The story is 75 years old. If you had any decency, you would realize that you're the villain of the world. The villain with the big V. And you would stop what you're doing. But I don't think you are, because you're too arrogant. And when you're arrogant and fascist, you're not mindful about the facts and the people around you and how the world sees you. You think America is going to cover for you forever, but no, the tide is turning. It might not be this year or next year, but the American people are not going to stand with you. Regardless of their creed, they're turning away from you. They don't like what they're seeing. They don't like their dollars murdering innocent people, humiliating people, destroying the livelihoods of an entire population. Human beings are smarter, they're better. Each generation that comes is better than the one before them. They don't like to be treating each other this way. We don't like what you're doing. America does not like what you're doing. You might have the Congress and the politicians, the pathetic politicians by the walls, but not the American people. You don't. If you were smart, you would turn around now. But no, apparently you're not that smart. Not the smart people we thought you were. Listen to this young woman.
That we don't know what's true. So yes, people are asking for proof. Number two, nobody's really looking to see graphic videos for the sake of seeing something graphic. We've seen enough of that these past 2 months. What people are looking for is some shred of evidence to back up these racist claims about Arabs being these woman-hating, rape-obsessed barbarians that deserve all of the treatment that they're getting from Israel, which is basically what people are using these accusations of rape to do. They're bringing it up every time somebody says Palestinians have the right to resist to occupation, which they legally do. Okay, they are legally entitled to armed resistance to their occupier. They're using these claims about rape from October 7th to say, well, you know what, is that a form of resistance? Is that a form of blah, 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 blah? And they're using it to justify the killings of thousands of innocent Palestinians. And then you want to talk about, well, people shouldn't have to document their atrocities. They shouldn't have to document their pain to get people to believe them. Well, in a perfect world, they absolutely shouldn't. But here you have Palestinians using the last bit of charge that they have on their phones and using the last bit of these Sims that people around the world are buying for them so that they can show people what's actually happening in Palestine, because you have done such a good job in painting Arabs and Muslims and Palestinians as these people who cannot be trusted, who are women hating, who hate gay people, who hate women, who don't deserve liberty, who don't deserve to govern themselves. These perceptions need to be backed up with facts, because they have been used over and over again to justify the killing and the eradication of these people and the invasion of all these countries.
Thank you,
People are
young lady.
beginning to see that they're actually baseless. If Palestinians in their worst moments have to document the most atrocious things happening to them in the middle of their pain, things that we cannot even fathom, even while watching it, we don't know what it's like to experience it. If they have to do that to get the world to believe that they are innocent and that they are not worthy of this and that these things are actually happening to innocent people, just to have the president of the United States say that they are bringing up false numbers about the number of casualties and the number of people being killed in Gaza, yes, you have to come up with some serious proof about why you think it's okay to continue this bombardment of Gaza and of innocent people.
Bam! That's a mic drop right there. Boom. Or was it? No, it was boom. Not bam. Boom. Yeah. Millions and millions. The vast majority of the world sees you like that. Liars, thieves, murderers, shameless, genocidal people. There was this woman in the Knesset or whatever their parliament is yesterday, because one other lady said, well, you know, all children matter. And she flipped. How dare you say all children matter? Because no children. There is no children like the Israeli children. The only children and the only people that the audacity, the only people and the only children and the only victims that matter are the Israelis or the Jews, if that matter. You're taking away victimhood from a lot of people that have the right to be, that have, that are victims who happen to be Jewish. Because there are people who cannot separate the ugliness of Israel from the actual Jewish people, which is shame. But the world will never see you the same way. And know that nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same. Nothing, 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 nothing stays the same. Nothing. America will not always support you because you can't fight normally. These few pathetic European countries will not always support you. It's going to come down to you supporting yourself. And the tide will turn. And nobody's going to shed a tear for you. No one. Because people are seeing how horrific of a people you are.